Will McGill to Tom Buchanan.
Thank you, Will
Huh?
McGill.
Boom.
Yeah.
How's it feel? Obviously, next to Leo.
Yeah.
I mean, this is...
It feels good, man. I'm glad you mentioned Will McGill
Well,
because,
I mean, when we're talking key roles in your life, he's sitting up top pretty high.
yeah, and definitely that was one of the big things for me. Because, I was working a lot in the theatre and then all of a sudden I got a job on TV, which is what I wanted to work in front of the camera, and I had such a great time doing that series, but my dream was to work in movies,
Yeah. Well, let me just say, I guess I'm not old, but I mean, I grew up studying theatre and English lit and just nailed it. Like, it was just wonderful. Wonderful to see, because I heard some of the names that were being bandied around for your role.
For Tom?
Yeah. Well, and I'm not sure if they're correct or not, but Ben Affleck was one of them. A lot of people...
Ben was going to do the movie.
Yeah.
And then Argo took him out of the equation because he got his finance to make his movie.
That went quite well.
Which left the space open for someone else to be Tom.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Well, if someone had said to me Ben Affleck or Joel, I would have gone Ben Affleck to start with, just because.
And I would have too.
Yeah, I mean, but I think, in all honesty, it was the mustache.
Thank you.
You rocked that. It was the most menacing mustache I've ever seen in my entire life.
The pencil Clark Gable mustache. I stole Clark Gable's mustache.
Oh, he's okay with it.
Put it on a silverback gorilla.
Well, it was the silverback gorilla, I think, that you're referencing that made it so much more... when the first scene of you riding on and getting off that horse, it's just this stocky, man that brings so much more intimidation and aggression to the role.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I met Baz, all I was reading into the book was Tom and his money,
Yeah.
And it was... The first thing Baz showed me was a picture of a guy, a Yale football player. And I was like, oh, that's right. Tom is like a sportsman. He's a retired sportsman who, when we meet him in the book, is just bored. He's got too much money and he's retired and he's bored. And he gets back on the field because Leonardo DiCaprio, in the form of Gatsby, tries to steal his wife and it becomes like competition.
Yeah. Now, that scene at the end, just after the chipping of the ice, a lot of electricity in that. How's it feel to almost be punched in the face by Leo?
Feels good to be almost punched.
Almost, key word.
And there was there's fierce kind of, aggression in his eyes. He's got some eyes on him. No, some serious kind of shouting. Yeah. That was a great scene to do. We shot it over too many days, 15 days in total, I think.
The one scene?
Yeah, we kept shooting it. We shot it for a week and then we came back to shoot some more of it and then we came back to shoot some more and we did some reshoots, the following year. So maintaining it, in terms of, you shoot an Aussie movie, you shoot 3 scenes in a day.
Yeah.
You don't get a chance to go back and redo them.
You get a crumpet and get sent out the Valiant and you go home.
Bang, go home. So this is a different way of making movies and it takes a different kind of part of your brain to maintain that, keep that momentum when the momentum is not necessarily there.
Yeah.
Because of the machine. But yeah, Leo nearly punching me in the face was awesome.
Would you punch him back?
If he punched me.
Night out?
We did Eskimo kiss in the movie, if you noticed. I did thought it'd be nice to sort of press foreheads with him. And as with anything, the more you do it, the more intense it becomes. So I think that take...
You'd both be getting frustrated, wouldn't you?
That take would have been sort of one of the later takes. Because where do you go from the Eskimo kiss?
Full French, I reckon.
Yeah.
Full French, I guess.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
That would be different film. Where's Baz taking things now?
Yeah.
Now, I guess your role as Tom Buchanan, old money.
Old money.
Joel, Edgerton.
Yeah, no money.
New money.
New money, thanks, man.
How does that feel? I guess you're taking part in what is the film of the year. I strongly feel like you'll be getting a Best Supporting Actor nod.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say.
I mean, it was just a great. I guess. Did you watch the old film?
I watched the Redford film, on my way to New York to meet Baz. I thought it was my Brody's notes, kind of quickly cramming to remind myself, which had Bruce Dern playing Tom. And usually I wouldn't watch any other film versions of the same story you're about to do, because you don't really want to confuse yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched that. Yeah. But they're different movies. It's like
No, yeah. Although I feel
completely different. It's based on the same story, but I mean, they're just different movies.
probably this
Can
one.
I say the same thing 3 times? They're different movies.
Editing, mate.
Yeah.
This one, I feel like it's on acid a little bit. Like you get
This movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Carmen Miranda took her hat off and starts hurling all the fruit at you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
In the beginning, I was like, wow, this crazy color and, you know, loud. You know, but what it is the essence of the book. Not the essence of the book, but the essence of the era. Kind of just magnified in this crazy intensity of the jazz age and the drunkenness and the raucous nature of the parties.
One of the negative reviews I read was that Fitzgerald wrote a film based on like a fantastical false idea of this society, and that this film is too faithful an adaptation of that it wasn't meant to be real. That's one of the criticisms I've read from some toff in London, no doubt. The soundtrack plays such a big role that I think that's what pulls you away from this fantastical creation that Baz has done and allows you to pulls you away and breaks the fourth wall and goes, when you hear Jay-Z, when you guys are speeding, like, it's just like, geez, this is pure Baz.
Yeah, his interest in bringing the film or bringing the story into a kind of a more modern context, I think, has a lot to do with why the music is, you know, Jay-Z and Lana Del Rey.
Lana, oh, my heart.
And you know, like his interest in not making this a museum piece that you know, instead of pulling out the gramophone and getting some scratchy old records and making the music completely true to the era, I think same with the technology of shooting the movie in 3D. There's this sort of mix of modern stuff with the
it's like
90-year-old story, you know?
Yeah.
All thrown in a blender.
Did you meet Jay-Z?
I met Jay-Z in New York at the New York premiere.
Yeah?
And I love Jay-Z. And I hear that when he watched the movie...
You don't like Jay-Z or someone shoots you.
Yeah, no, it's like... have you ever met a person that would be willing to say, I don't like Queen? I challenge you to find someone...
As in Freddie or the lady?
The band.
Oh.
But Jay-Z, I met him. I was so excited to meet him. I heard that when he watched the movie, him and his buddy were just yelling at my character on the screen. And I was like, yeah, because
He's going to probably call a hit on you now.
No, we're cool.
Yeah, you're good?
Yeah, can't believe I said that. Me and Jay-Z, we're cool.
Well, good. We got that on lock. Thanks so much for that, mate. That was